Hello students, this is Gokila from Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. In this video, let us see about array retrieval of elements. Array initialization. Array initialization is an important task after creating an array. So initialization is that assigning a value to an array is called as array initialization. The value can be done in such a way that you can use a flower bracket for array initialization. Array initialization is a process of assigning values to an array when it is declared. So there are some ways of declaring or initializing an array. The first step is called as static initialization, and the next one is called as partial initialization, and the third one is called as designated initialization. So static initialization is that it will be values will be in a continuous sequence one after the other. For example, you can take the first one int id num, which has the value sequence one after the other, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even the next value will be 8. Partial initialization is that the first two variables will be similar, but after that it will be changed. For example, if you take the second example, float of num, we have 5, 6. The next variable will be 5, but instead of 6 it will be 7. The next again will be 5, but instead of 7 it will be 8. So the second value alone changes again and again. This is called as partial initialization. And the third one is called as designated initialization, where you can initialize anything like a character or a number or alphabets, etc. And also when we initialize a character, we have to keep in mind that we have to use a single quotation inside a character so that it can be identified as the character. At last, we have to declare it as a null character, which is followed by /0. So the initialization is a thing that it can be used for dynamically allocating the memory for an array, and also initializes each element to its index plus 1. See, arrays are not initialized by default. We have to initialize them explicitly in order to avoid that undefined behavior. When the value assigned to a character array is a string, it must be enclosed with a double quotation. Whereas if it is a single character, it has to be enclosed with single quotation. But still we have to receive one extra place for null. You see, compiler automatically creates an array which is big enough to hold all the initialization in the array. Retrieving elements in the array. To retrieve elements in an array, you can access them by using their index. In C, array indices starts with 0 and the first element index is 0 and the second element index is 1 and the index goes on. The example is like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can retrieve the first element as array of 0 and the second element 3 will be array of 1 and the third element 5 will be array of 2 and the fourth element will be array of 3 and the fifth element will be array of 8. So if we try to access the element outside the array bound, we will get a message that we have an undefined behavior which leads to crashes and unexpected results. We should also be aware that arrays does not hold a built-in value to the own size. We need to keep a track of the sizes separately. So we also has to know that array retrieval is very easy after the initialization. So this is an example of an array initialization and retrieval. Here we are using an array called as sum, a variable called as a sum and an array of ARR. So we can get the value of ARR and then we can able to convert them into array. So the array index value is increasing day by day and after that it will get the retrieval in the array. So this is an example. Another example is that a response of a survey can be in a range of from 0 to 10 and the population size is to be 40. So the frequency of each response will be the output. So this is an example. Int response of size int frequency of answer, int I, scanf response of I. So the frequency of percentage d is day and the frequency of I is given here. So this is about the retrieval of the elements in the array. Thank you all.